Can Yaman's love story. First the denial, then the ring in plain sight. Can Yaman's surprise romance. First he denied it, then the ring was revealed. Hello friends, welcome to Turkish series stars. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and supported me. Today, we're diving into one of the hottest topics splitting social media right down the middle. That love everyone's whispering about, the one trending on every platform and stirring the entire fandom. Yes, you guessed it. Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir. But this time, there's a classic Can twist. He quietly follows someone he claimed not to be keeping up with, he gives Demet his own ring, and then they pose for a photo that sends the internet into a frenzy. Friends, before we launch into the details, make sure you're comfortable, grab a coffee, and let's unpack every nuance of this story together, step by step. From I don't know to I don't know. It all began with one small move by Can on social media that rattled the entertainment world. When asked about Demet, he shrugged, almost playfully distant, I don't know anything, I'm not following her life. The message was crisp, short, and firm, he didn't want to be associated with any rumors. But what happened next? Social media never sleeps, and in the most Can manner possible, he suddenly followed Demet on Instagram. That single tap was louder than any public statement. Comments poured in immediately, classic Can deny, then declare. It was the first domino in a very public sequence, and fans began drawing lines, connecting dots, comparing old interviews and new angles. Some questioned whether this was performance, others called it a long-awaited reality finally surfacing. The real spark, though, came from Demet's video. Just a casual post, a candid moment with soft light and relaxed laughter, and yet one detail took center stage, the ring on her finger. Sharp-eyed followers zoomed in, screenshotted, slowed it down, and posted side-by-side comparisons. Is that Can's ring? They asked. This can't be hidden anymore. He denied it, and now he's celebrating it. The clip spread everywhere, and within hours the ring wasn't just an accessory, it was a headline. After that, the general consensus practically wrote itself, if the ring is there, the secret isn't. With Demet's posts and Can's new follow, the puzzle pieces were too perfectly aligned. What was once rumor now felt like confirmation, an unspoken admission people read between the pixels. And of course, social media reacted like only social media can. Some said, we've seen this before, Can pushes back until he's ready, then he lets the world in. Others said, when the ring appeared, it was done. This is the soft launch. Humor lovers didn't miss their chance either, the Can method, deny on Monday, follow on Tuesday, ring on Wednesday. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Every corner of the internet was filled with theories, breakdowns, and mini-documentaries. Followers studied reflections in glass and matching interior decor, deciphered lighting patterns, and analyzed a frame that showed a book they swore belonged on Can's shelf. If you've followed his path, you know this rhythm. The classic Can scenario, distance, tease, reveal. First, a cool I don't know anything about that. Next, a breadcrumb on Instagram. And finally, the shot that changes the conversation. And so it unfolded with Demet. He claimed he wasn't paying attention, then followed her, and soon enough the ring appeared in the frame of a sunny afternoon selfie. The discourse split quickly, half thought it was the sweetest reunion, the kind that felt both unexpected and inevitable, while the other half wondered if it was all happening too fast, a whirlwind carried by nostalgia and public pressure. Past relationships and new beginnings always color what comes next. Both Can and Demet have lived their love stories in the open, whether they wanted to or not. He crossed borders and headlines, balancing work abroad and a romance shadowed by cameras. She married, loved, and learned, then chose a quieter chapter that hinted at a reset. They each wore attention like a second skin, but there's a difference between learning to handle noise and wanting it. If we trace the timeline, Demet closed an intense period of personal life, finding her calm as the year turned. Can, for his part, shook off the weight of old narratives, returning to set with renewed focus. And then, almost like a familiar melody starting softly in the background, they found each other in the present, no longer just a pairing from the screen, but two people who have risked and rebuilt, separately, before stepping toward each other again. So let's talk about that ring and what it means. It's not just a shiny detail. Fans recognized it, pointing out an old photo where Ken wore something strikingly similar, a piece known for its simple design and personal significance. The subtlety made it louder, a token not of spectacle, but of intimacy. Followers dissected the video and noted elements they believed belonged to Ken's apartment, a distinctive lamp, a particular framed print, a table with a carved edge that has shown up before. Whether those observations were perfectly accurate or not almost didn't matter, the feeling they generated did. The chatter gained momentum, and a narrative emerged in the entertainment world. This wasn't a rumor you could bury under a press line. This was a story writing itself through small choices. Then came the posts and the playful silence that says more than words. She wore the ring. He stayed unbothered by the talk, neither feeding it nor running from it. The combination made people lean in closer. Typical Ken, some said. He hides in plain sight. Others added, Demet wouldn't wear something like that unless it meant something. Short videos bloomed everywhere, split screens with old scenes from sets layered over the new clips, captions crooning about fate and second chances. People traced the arc from co-stars to whispers to denials to a ring, and the film reel in everyone's mind felt complete. Of course, there's always the question that hangs over every public romance: is this true love, or a tidy strategy built for engagement? We're here at Turkish series stars to say this: the denial, the watchful quiet, the sudden follow, the intimate detail of a ring, the tastefully framed photo that lets a secret speak, these are classic moves, and yet they can be signatures of something real too. If you look beyond the virality, their shared language is softness and restraint. Ken loves a grand gesture, yes, but he also likes control, he gives just enough. Demet is poised, expressive when she chooses to be, protective when she must. Together, their energy computes. They look like people who know how to walk a tightrope and still find each other on the other side. Insiders joined the chorus as they always do. From Ken's side, the word is that he's not interested in reopening old chapters, he's done with that story arc. From Demet's circle, we hear she's found ease with someone who gets the rhythm of her life, someone who has felt the heat of the spotlight and still remembers how to keep the heart private. The watchful Instagram habits, the quiet cameo of a ring, the carefully cropped photos, these aren't random. They are choices. And choices build stories. Let's return to that classic pattern, because it's held through the entire timeline. First, a line that sets boundaries: I don't know. I haven't been following. Then, a follow that erases the line. Next, a post that doesn't name names but speaks volumes. The effect is almost cinematic, each act sliding into the next until the narrative is undeniable. People debated whether the photo was taken in his living room, others argued the opposite. But in the middle of that debate, a more important truth took shape: when a relationship carries meaning, it doesn't need a caption. The signs collect until they are too many to ignore. Within hours, fans revisited old interviews where their chemistry was the scoop of the day. Clips resurfaced where glances lingered and jokes landed with warmth. People who swore they'd moved on from shipping dove right back in, using the ring as permission to believe again. Others stayed skeptical, cautioning that nothing is certain until there's a clear statement. But even the skeptics admitted the evidence made a compelling case. And that's the duality of their public lives, isn't it? They've built careers that allowed audiences to fall in love with their love, even when that love lived behind the curtain. And so, the ring isn't just a sparkly piece in a pretty frame, it's a symbol of timing. It says they might be ready to be seen, not fully, not with fanfare, but enough to steady the rumors. Enough to tell us, gently, that we're not imagining this. Meanwhile, on TikTok, edits multiplied with poetic captions. Instagram stories turned into detective boards. Twitter threads tracked follows, likes, and disappearing stories that felt like digital footprints. One notable detail had everyone buzzing: the ring's placement in multiple shots, never front and center, always discoverable, like an inside joke with whoever cared enough to look. That's the romance of it. That's what keeps people scrolling. Still, under the noise, there's a quieter lesson. Both of them have weathered storms that harden and soften a person at the same time. They've been celebrated, criticized, and begged to confirm every breath. Stepping back and then stepping toward each other again required something most stories don't show: patience. And perhaps that's why this soft launch feels so potent. It's not a billboard. It's a whisper. And sometimes whispers carry further than shouts, especially when the people listening already know the language. You can call it strategy, or simply the way two smart, experienced figures survive the spectacle. Either way, the effect is the same: the internet can't look away. And why should it? The intrigue is delicious, the nostalgia is heavy, and the chemistry hasn't aged a day. If anything, it's matured. So where does this leave us? Right where they seem to want us: watching, reading again. Processing the denial that set the stage, the follow that changed the stakes, and the ring that sealed the hint. Everything else is commentary. Everything else is speculation. But isn't that the fun of it? To gather around a moment and decide what it means, together, one frame at a time? Here at Turkish series stars, we'll say it simply: first came distance, then came the unmistakable signs. The ring detail, the shared spaces, the carefully framed content, the late-night follow, the morning-after buzz, this is the anatomy of a love story in the age of screens. New, yes. Serious, also yes. Whether or not we get a formal confirmation tomorrow or next month, the narrative has already sunk its teeth into the culture. And no matter how private they try to be, this romance has the glow of something that intends to stay. What do you think? Did Cannes classic Deny first, then Let the Signs Do the Talking approach hit its mark this time? Do you read The Ring as a quiet promise or a beautiful prop in a perfectly curated mystery? Tell us your thoughts below, let's compare theories, and keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Turkish series stars, and turn on notifications so you're the first to catch every twist and every reveal. Until the next video, may your day be full of stories worth telling, and may we all keep our eyes open for the details that say more than words. Bye.